Aiden Druckmann, and I will be functioning as the moderator for our session today on Career Insights from LG243 Graduates, Episode 3, the finale. And today we have Azmieza Azmay, who is currently an employer branding and campus engagement specialist under Ernst & Young Consulting. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us enjoy this session here. And for your record, this session is recorded and will be shared on the Eclipse YouTube channel for future references and so on. So yeah, of course, if you have any questions for our special guest today, you can pose your questions in the chat box while the session is going on, or you can wait for the Q&A session by the end. All right. So, Miss Azmieza, thank you so much for joining us, session, for spending time with us today.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. Actually, I haven't been connecting with LG243 for a while. Since I've graduated 3-4 years ago, I forgot already. But yeah, it's really nice to come back here to see familiar faces and also to see my juniors as well. It feels really good to be able to contribute back to the faculty.
All right, Alhamdulillah. So, fellow audience, so just for your information, Ms. Azmieza is just like our guest speaker last week. She's from the first batch, the first cohort of LG243. So yeah, otay ne. So yes. Okay, so let us start with Azmieza, can you please introduce yourself to the crowd and tell us a bit about your current role in Ernst & Young Consulting?
All right. Hi everyone, I'm Azmieza Azmi, and I'm from Employer Branding and Campus Engagement Specialist in Ernst & Young Consulting. So I'll share with you a bit about my current role here in EY. So Ernst & Young is actually EY. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Ernst & Young is actually I would say a professional services firm, in which we provide services such as there's consulting, tax, there's also assurance, and also strategy and transaction as well. Some students would interpret this as an audit firm lah, because there will be a lot of audit related role in Ernst & Young. So we call Ernst & Young EY the short form lah. So my role here is actually as an employer branding specialist. So I'm parked under the talent team. Talent team also refers to human resource department. So I'm sure some of you are familiar with human resource. I think there is a course in LG243 that's related to business or human resource, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I see some thumbs up. Yep. So I'm in human resource. So what I do in human resource is managing my company's reputation, and also I'm like the face of my company lah. So to make it sound more simpler, right? It's mostly for me, it's mostly to coordinate events with students and also with universities as well. So it's like what Mr. Zack is doing right now, right? Is connecting with me, right? So it's something that I do as well in Ernst & Young. So some of the universities that I collab with includes ITM actually, but it's the accounting faculty. And there is also Sunway University and all of that. We have more than 10 universities that we collaborate with. And per year, I would say there's about more than 100 events that we conduct. Yep. So I'm in a team of 4. So there's a social media specialist, and also there's employer branding as well. So yeah, we conduct a lot of events. We engage with students. We conduct networking sessions with students as well, because we would want to provide a platform for students to network with the business. So students there will connect with our maybe partners, senior managers, and so on, so that they can get an understanding of how business is like in the actual world. So that's most of the things that I do, aside from attracting talent and also building pipeline as well. So my since I'm a campus engagement specialist, my focus is on students lah. So that's kind of like a gist of what I do.
I see. Well, you're saying that it's a gist, but sounds like wow. It
Yeah.
sounds it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. I mean, it feels good from our end, from the faculty, to know that we have students, at where you are right now currently. So that's good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so Azmiza, can you share with us, about your academic journey? Back when you were a student, back then, when you were a student of LG243.
Mm. Okay, so just to go back to the past, right? Okay, in during my high school, I actually took science, pure science, chemistry, physics, and biology. Then I thought to myself, it's not really me. Sometimes I'm not really like from the science stream kind of. It's not really my forte lah. So after that, I got into matriculation. So for matriculation, there's only two choices, which is accounting and also and also science as well. So since science is out of the picture, I took accounting instead. So I actually do have some knowledge in accounting, economics, business, and so on. But then I guess even though I enjoyed it, at the same time I felt like I wanted to try something else, something different, something that hits close to home lah. So that's how I decided. In degree, I decided to get into LG243 because the name itself is very interesting. English for Intercultural Communications. It's very interesting. And I think during that time, it was something new as well in UITM. So I thought to myself, why not I give it a try? It sounds very interesting. I think at that time, I think it's something that I'm interested in and it fits my personality as well. I wanted to learn more about culture. I wanted to learn more about language. I wanted to know more about all of that. Right. So I guess during that time, first sem until third sem, I had my class physically. So it was at Kenanga, if I'm not mistaken, the name. So yeah, Kenanga, it was very nice. I think I also had my classmates as well. Very nice lecturers. All of the all of the topics, all of the courses we call it. All of the courses were really interesting as well. So it was actually made for me lah. I would say LG243. It was really interesting. It was made for me. But then after that, around maybe sem 4 to sem 6, COVID hits and then we had to learn from home. So it was totally new, I guess, not only for me, but for Mr. Zack as well, for all of my lecturers as well. It was very, very new. It was very different as well. I'm guessing nowadays you guys learn hybrid, right?
Now it's hybrid, but we are like, it's very heavy towards physical.
I see. Yeah, before that we never had hybrid class. I've never had a class online. So it was very awkward for me as well. But Alhamdulillah, thankfully, we all of us made it through actually. I actually did all of my FYP online. All of my session with my supervisors, everything is online. I haven't been to the campus since COVID actually. Yeah, and also my internship was also online, fully online. Yeah, so 3 months internship, I only did it online. I've never met any of my colleagues at all. So yeah, I would say that I would prefer to do physical classes instead because the bond is different lah, because you meet people face to face, the physical, right? So it's different. But I would also like to share that in LG243, I wasn't only focused on studying and learning as well. I think there's a lot of opportunities and also a lot of events conducted in LG243 as well. So I did that as well. So one of the biggest events that I've joined is MLO. Yeah, I joined MLO before. I'm not sure whether it's still available nowadays or not. It still is. It's still ongoing.
Yes, we're doing one MLO 3 this year. Inshallah.
Nice. Wow, nice. Yeah, I joined that event before, but as the committee lah, organizing committee lah. So it was, I would say that it was very nice. I enjoyed it very much. And if you guys have the chance to join, I would highly advocate for you guys to join. It was really fun. So yeah, aside from that, also in my own course, there's event management where I remember we went to Embassy of Morocco. Yeah, a lot of exposure. It was really interesting. It was not only about the learning, but it was also about the soft skills as well. So that's sums up my academic journey lah.
All right, awesome. So yeah, so yes, I remember you were so that batch, everything was on physical, then suddenly bam, online sampai
Yes,
habis. So you
sampai habis.
finished.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah, all
regretting
right.
that so much. I wish I had more chance to be in
Yeah.
physical classes lah.
Yeah, but hey, you got through with it. Whatever
Yes.
happened,
Yes.
you got through, and look at where you are right now. And speaking of where you are right now, can you like share with us about your career journey? Specifically on how did you end up in Ernst and Young Consulting?
Mm. Okay, so a little bit about my career journey, right? Maybe I will start right after I graduate. So I not really graduate lah, but I started my internship in 2021. So my internship started as a talent acquisition. So talent acquisition is mostly also in human resource as well. It was actually in Axiata Digital Analytics (ADA). ADA is previously it was an advertising agency, but nowadays it's a business consulting and services company lah. So I did talent acquisition, which is more or less related to recruitment. So we do talent pipelining, we do talent mapping and all of that lah for the company. So I started off with talent acquisition, and actually it was I would say it was a second choice lah. I also got another offer, which is in as a content writer, but then I decided that ADA was nearer to public transport. It would make it easier for me to go to office, right? So I decided to go to ADA instead lah. But I was also interested in content writing as well. And then after my talent acquisition internship, after my internship, they actually offered me a job as a talent acquisition executive. So that was also in 2021, around June like that. So around September, I started my full time as a talent acquisition executive lah. And then shortly after that, I was promoted as a campus recruiter. So it's kind of like an individual contributor role where I handle all of the internship hirings and all of the campus engagement in the company as well. But after that, I decided that okay, so ADA is I would say it's kind of like a startup. It's like a 4 to 5 years in business already, but I would say that it's kind of like still like a startup. So I started feeling like I want to learn something new. I want to go to one of the big companies and I want to learn their style. Or maybe I want to learn something new as well. I want to start working in a team as well, just to get different perspectives lah. Because right now, last time I was working as an individual, so now I want to work in a team. I want to contribute to a team. So after that, around 2023, I started applying to Ernst & Young actually because there was a specific role called campus recruitment. I didn't want to do talent acquisition itself. I want to be in campus recruitment because I feel more closer to students and I want to help them to get a job. I want to help them advance in their careers as well. That is why I choose campus recruitment. So after that, okay, so I started off as a campus engagement in Ernst & Young. And then shortly after that, maybe about 6 months after that, they offered me another role called employer branding and campus engagement, which I would say it fits more to my personality lah. Because campus recruitment, I would say, as a recruiter, is quite. If you like repetitive kind of tasks, or maybe something that you're familiar with and all of that, I would recommend for you to do recruitment. But then after that, I don't think I'm that kind of person. I'm the type of person I like going out, I like meeting new people and so on. That's why I agreed to the campus engagement role. And yeah, so I think I've been in this role for about a year plus. And I think I really enjoy this. I'm planning to pursue my career here in campus engagement. I'm planning to grow in campus engagement as well. So yeah, that's a bit about my career journey. That's not much, but yeah, it's quite a challenging journey lah, I would say.
All right, okay, but still, it's really interesting, and because usually when we talk about LG243 graduates, it's like copywriting, copy editing,
Yeah.
more in the writing part, and if you're talking about HR, it's usually on the recruitment side. So like when we hear that, you're into campus engagement, now that's something new, something that
Mm.
we don't hear about every day. And probably it's a field that maybe, your juniors can consider,
Yep, yep,
in the future. So
yeah.
yeah. All right. Okay. So now, and since that you're at, Ernst and Young, right? So be being a, I would say it's a big company, it's a major company.
Mm-mm.
So how was, if you don't mind sharing, how was the interview process of Ernst and Young Consulting? And
Mm-mm.
in your opinion, right? What criteria do you think that you have that got you the position?
Mm. All right, so maybe I'll share with you guys a bit about the interview process here in Ernst& Young. Generally here in Ernst& Young, we have about 3 process for graduates lah, especially, in which you would need to complete online assessment. After you've passed the online assessment, there will be phone screening, and after the phone screening, there will be a physical interview, physical or online interview, depending on the situation lah. But mostly it's physical interview nowadays. So in terms of the online assessment, it's actually inclusive of I would say psychometric questions, a bit of technical questions, and also in the online assessment itself, there is an AI interview and also a written assessment as well. So here in Ernst& Young, they are actually trying to assess your communication skills, because you will be working with different people. You will be the face of EY, right? And also, aside from that, they are looking for good writing skills as well, because as I mentioned before, you will be engaging with a lot of external people. So you have to have a good look lah. Yeah, you have to have good writing skills as well. So I would say that those are the online assessment. After you pass the online assessment, phone screening is mostly from HR. So what HR will ask during that time is mostly like why are you interested in the role, and also maybe ask you about a bit about your extracurricular activities, and what is your expectations and so on. So it's not really an actual interview, but it's mostly to assess you on a surface level, not really on the technical sides, but mostly on the soft skills kind of side lah, to again further assess your communication skills. And then after that, you will get to meet the hiring manager, or maybe the partner lah. So hiring manager. So that's when they try to understand more about your skills, your technical skills. Same goes to me as well. They will ask me about my previous role. They will ask me what was my numbers, hiring numbers, what was my achievement, and so on. Those are the kind of questions that they will ask me lah. But for graduates, usually they wouldn't ask those kind of questions. I would say that for graduates, usually they would ask you something like, have you attended any extracurricular activities? Okay, let's say you join an event. They will also ask you what kind of challenges that you face, and how did you, maybe what kind of solutions that you give to the team. So it will be something like that. So it's kind of different for you to apply as a fresh graduate and for you to apply as an experienced hire. Yeah, so I guess in this situation, what got me hired for this specific role is they were actually looking for someone that has experience in recruitment, because I was applying for campus recruitment role, right? So they were looking for someone with recruitment experiences, and also proven records as well, as in how many I hired per year and how did I manage the stress and so on. But aside from that, honestly, when you're working, it's not just about your skills lah. It's about your personality, and also cultural fit as well. So they also look at your, I would say, attitude. So the way you present yourself in an interview, right? We can actually guess your personality, and we can see whether you are you have good personality, or maybe you are more on a different side lah, maybe not a cultural fit for the company. So I guess for my case, they are looking for someone with flexibility and also agility as well, because let me tell you, Mr. Zach, the difference between recruitment in ADA and EY was very different. In ADA, I guess we hired about 100 for internship, but here in EY we hire about I would say 200, 300. Yeah, for graduates as well, we hire a lot. That's about only 400 for assurance, but then that's not considering other departments as well. So the numbers are crazy. You have to chase the numbers. So yeah. So it was really interesting in that sense. That's why they're looking for someone with high agility, someone that can work under pressure lah, because you'll be dealing with the business as well. So yeah, but for campus engagement, I didn't really interview for that role since I was it was we call it a mobility, internal mobility. So there was no interview, but they did guide you lah, and they were looking for someone with a more maybe more like a positive attitude, friendly demeanor, because you'll be working with students, right? So you cannot be garang-garang lah. You have to be friendly with your business, with your students, and also with the universities as well. So that's overall the interview process. So I was just explaining in general lah, because I was also involved in interview processes in EY before. So just sharing with you guys.
All right, interesting. I like how, they have a computer-based interview and so on, because I noticed that would be the common practices, especially for larger companies. It's not just like it's beyond apply and then they call for the interview.
Yes,
I know
yeah.
that. Yeah, it's a multiple stage process, especially for big companies, and I think that especially your juniors need to know about this. So yeah, and they really focus on what you can do, what you can contribute.
Yes, cool. Yeah. So mostly I would say for for interviews in general, what I would share with you guys is to be prepared. Even though it's AI interview, even though it's one question, but you really need to be prepared. You can just go through Google, you can just try to study those typical interview questions. I know some of you feel like, this question I already don't know how to answer, but I would strongly advise you to practice your interview skills. Even though you know the question, you know the answers by heart already, but before interview, do practice, because sometimes we know whether you read it off a script or not. So yeah, we do know that even though it's AI interview, we do know whether you read a script. I know nowadays there's like an app that will reflect on your screen, and then you can just hafal the not really hafal, but you can just read it off the script. Yeah, so we can see your eyes. We look at your eyes lah, where you are looking at and how you answer the question.
Yeah, I've heard of those apps as well. So yeah. Whew. But then again, I mean, it also shows how much you as the interview candidate that you're willing to go to, when getting the job that you want. I mean, if you really want a job, then you won't take shortcuts. You would just go, betul lah. All right. So yes, I hope that will give some perspectives to your juniors for future interview processes, whether for internship or upon graduation. Okay, so now at Ernst and Young Consulting, can you share with us your biggest highlights?
Biggest highlights, is it? I would say, right, because I was from recruitment and then I moved to employer branding, right? I would say that that's one of the biggest achievements that I've already done, in terms of I went there with no skills, no experience at all in employer branding, but I managed to be here for 1 year plus in employer branding itself. Aside from that, I've managed about more than, including this year, I would say up to 200 events per month. I think there's about 10 plus events that we conduct as well, in which I do conduct end to end lah, meaning that from the planning and then to the post-mortem and all of that. So that is one of the biggest achievements that I have. But aside from that, I'm happy to announce that Ernst & Young is actually considered as the top choice of employer for Graduate Choice Award. For accounting and consulting, and also for M100 as well. So we were chosen as a top employer, and it also shows, it also reflects our contribution towards the students as well, towards all of our students as well. So I would say that's one of my biggest achievement with Ernst & Young.
All right. I mean, I gotta say that's some achievement. I mean, I know a little bit about recruitment, since that was my background before I joined UiTM. I've done recruitment before. So gotta say what you're doing is impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. All right. Okay. So now, so based from what you're sharing about, how long you've been at Ernst and Young, and also your highlights, you going through the interview process, etc., etc.
Mm.
How did LG243 or APB or even UITM prepare you for where you are right now?
All right. So I guess for LG243, APB, UITM, I would say throughout my student life, right, I have learned a lot of soft skills by joining events. I would say soft skills is very important as you grow. So it's not just about your CGPA and all of that. You really need to build your soft skills. So by joining events in APB itself, in LG243 itself, and also not only APB, I've also joined other events. I've joined breast band before this, and also in classes there's also group activities as well. Even though it seems like simple only, right? But it really helps your communication skills and how you network with others, because once you get into the working world, it's not just about your skills, I would say. It's not just about how you do your job that gets you promoted. It's how likable you are. So to get a certain kind of likability is really, I would recommend you to really sharpen up your communication skills and also your other soft skills as well. Teamwork is very important teamwork is very important for working. I would say that most of the roles that is available now, right, most of them requires you to do teamwork. Even if you do, maybe if the role is more like a, even if it's an, let's say, an IT role, right, you feel that you can work in your on your own, right, you still have to work with other teams as well. Let's say if another team has problems, they would need to come to you. So it's just how you contribute to the team. So those kind of things are very important, and you can only, and you are only able to gain that kind of experience and also skills by connecting with others. That's for sure. You cannot you don't get those experience by being by yourself. After class you go back home, you go back to your, maybe your dorm, and you sleep, and then after that you go back to class again. It's not like that lah. It's really important for you to build connection with others. Mm.
Well, I mean, I do agree with you on that because, like, to me, lah, when a person enters university, there are two documents that a student should be working on. Number one would be the Segulung Ijazah, and the other one would be the resume that you'll be printing
Yep.
out and
Yep.
handing out there. So, and that one can only be built with or your the stuff that you do during your university days, the extracurricular activities,
Mm.
etc., etc.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that that the university helped you in that sense in
Yes.
providing whatever. I mean, not just the stuff to put in your resume lah, but also
Yep.
most importantly the skill sets, because yang tu yang kita perlukan, to be
Yes.
honest. Mm.
I'm glad that the course LG243 itself, they give you like real life assignments. It's something that, okay, you do this maybe like a cultural related assignment. You have to go meet that certain culture, and then you have to learn more about that, and then you come back to the class, you have to present about your findings and all of that. So it's very interesting to learn that way. It's like hands on, like it's not just you just reading the textbooks and all of that. So I would say that I'm glad that UITM gives opportunities for us to do things hands on, to do research, and to be independent as well, because it's really important for us to be independent lah, and for us to further grow ourselves as well.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I mean, to be honest, that is the purpose of a degree program. And of course, based from what you're saying, based from what you're sharing, that maybe even from our end as lecturers, we can also like make changes to our curriculum and so on in the future, to further prepare students for the work place. All right. Okay. So with that, right, with whatever that you stated, I mean, aside from being active, what other additional advice would you give to your juniors here in preparing themselves for what's out there?
Advice for my juniors would be, Okay. I know some of you guys are afraid to go into the working world, right? I'm sure some of you guys are very afraid to go there because it's very different from studying. Yeah, but I would say that I would like to advocate that working is actually quite interesting as well. But you have to be open-minded you have to be open-minded, and sometimes even though you're afraid, you would need to do it afraid as well. It's okay to be afraid, but you have to still do it. So what I mean by this is that sometimes when you're working, right, you'll meet different kind of people, you'll meet different kind of bosses as well. And sometimes maybe their style is not the same as yours, or maybe your team style is not the same as yours. So I would advise for you to be open-minded in that sense. You do try to voice out your thoughts and opinions as well. And maybe sometimes you make mistakes, right? Which is understandable. It's okay to make mistakes. It's definitely okay to make mistakes. Um, don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's one thing. And let's say if you do make mistakes, try to think of it as you're learning, because you are learning. Even now, no matter how old you get, you will make mistakes because we're all humans. And also you learn from that mistake actually. So you don't have to be embarrassed about making mistakes. Because the reason why I'm saying this is that I feel like sometimes the only thing that's holding me back is maybe is my, I would say, my anxiety to make mistakes lah. When I was a graduate, so it's holding me back. I'm afraid to do things. When I do things, when you think too much about doing something, right, you would tend to make mistakes because you're thinking too much about it. You're overthinking. So what I've learned throughout the years is it's okay to make mistakes, and you don't have to be afraid of it, because it will work out eventually. You will definitely learn from your mistakes, and it makes you a better person in itself. Okay. And also in terms of working, right, I would just say just to enjoy it as much as possible lah. Try not to, like I mentioned before, just try not to overthink it. Just enjoy your work and take it as a learning opportunity as well. No matter how old you get, you can still keep on learning.
All right. I like that. No matter how old you get, you can always, keep on learning, and also, not be afraid to make mistakes and so on, leading to overthinking, etc., etc. Okay, I like that. I like that. Juniors, dengar tu apa your Kak Miza cakap tu. Because what she says is true. Yeah. So betul. But don't use that as an excuse to keep on making mistakes lah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Yeah.
All right, okay then. Okay, so now let's say that if you could go back to your LG243 days, what would you have done differently?
Okay, so if I were to go back to LG243, I would, like I mentioned just now, I don't want to be afraid to make changes, or to voice out my opinions, or to put up my hands to certain things as well. Because I'll be honest, I'm very introverted, and social anxiety always restrain me from the things that I really want to experience, I really want to enjoy. So maybe if I were to go back, I would try to just go for it. Honestly, for everyone, just go for it, and then just enjoy my journey. But aside from that, something more personal, I really want to change my FYP topic if I were to go back to LG243. Because during that time, I wish I took more time and also took more initiative to my research lah. I want to do something that I was really interested in, and I wish I could voice out my opinions about certain things in my FYP as well. But that's just something personal for me lah. So if I were to go back, definitely I want to connect more with people. I want to be out there and socialize with people more. And also, I want to change my FYP. If I had the chance, I will change my FYP.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your FYP topic?
It was more about politeness strategy. Yeah, but I guess because we were doing it online as well, right? So I didn't have much time to speak. I mean, we do speak to our supervisors, but then it was online, so it was quite difficult for us as well. And yeah, I didn't have much time to actually put myself into the research. Yeah, that's one thing that I regret doing lah. If I had the chance, maybe I want to have more time. I want to do the research properly. So yeah, for all of you guys, do something that you're interested in. Seriously, because FYP is actually supposed to be interesting, right, Mr. Zach? But let's say if you got a top, maybe if you don't put your energy into it, it wouldn't be interesting. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Since you mentioned about FYP, okay. As memory serves, when you were a student during your final semester, so you had to, correct me if I'm wrong. So you had to do your LI and FYP at the same time, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, so you see that is an ongoing challenge, I gotta say, in every batch. So how was it for you? Was it easy? Was it difficult? How were you able to overcome it? And maybe do you have, because we have a few semester 5 here that who will be going on to semester 6 next semester, doing both LI and FYP. So maybe do you have anything to say for them? Katakan semangat ke apa ke, tips ke?
I would definitely be honest, it's not easy. It's very hard studying and working at the same time, because in the day you have to work. And then after that at night, you're already tired, and then you have to do the FYP some more. So I guess what I did during that time, right, I actually put a note, like a sticky note, and I stick it on my work laptop. I put there 1 hour to do FYP per day. At least 1 hour. I put it there, and then when I open my work laptop, it will remind me lah. So that is my strategy. I did try my best to follow it lah, but sometimes you're tired and all. But honestly, it doesn't. How do I say? It's not that long. It's only 1-2 semesters, right? And try to speak to your friends, even though they're not doing the same topic as you, but try to speak to them to get more ideas, to get their perspective as well. Even though it's a different topic, try to communicate with them as well. Because last time when I was doing it, I felt quite alone, I guess, because FYP is your own journey, right? So you feel quite alone. But I started speaking to others. I started to ask them, hey, what do you guys think if I were to write this, write that? What do you guys think? And it gives you much more idea and much more perspective in that sense. Also, do not forget to get advice from your supervisors as well, because that's very important. Because do not do it last minute some more, because if it's last minute, it's very stressful for you to amend the whole thing lah. Yeah, but do regular catch up with your supervisors, and don't do it alone. You have your friends around you, you have your peers, connect with them, don't do it alone. Yeah.
All right. Those I gotta say those are very good insights. To be honest on it, So like the key points I was read from you would be: number 1, don't do it alone. Number 2, to connect with your supervisor. Number 3, to like your research topic.
Yes.
And also number 4 would be to not do it last minute. Oh, and also number 5, try to allocate at least an hour a day.
Yes.
For that. I think I should do that for my PhD as well. So yeah.
Well,
Okay. All right. Those are I gotta say those are very good insights from you. I mean, even for me as well, because I'm pursuing my postgrad at the same time while working. So yeah, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now moving on to our final question before we go into the Q&A. Are there any other advice or insights you would like to share with your juniors?
Overall, I think I would definitely tell you guys to enjoy your time as a student. It's not long. It's only 3 years, right? It's only 3 years, and then suddenly you'll start working as well, and then everyone will have their own paths. So I would definitely advise you guys to enjoy your time as a student. Grab every opportunities if you can. grab everything. Try to gain as much experience, ask a lot of questions to your lecturers. And I would say that LG243 lecturers are one of the nicest lecturers that I've ever met. And the learning style is also the teaching style is also different from, like, let's say, matriculation or foundation as well. It's more independent lah. So I would say that you are lucky to be where you are today, and this is the right choice actually. This course itself is very interesting. So try to enjoy it. Enjoy what you're learning. Try to romanticize what you're learning. Romanticize your university life, and yeah, have no regrets at all. All of the assignments, you just do all of your assignments, hang out with your friends and all of that. Just be be a social butterfly lah, I would say. Be happy with where you are, be grateful as well. That's what I would share with you guys, because it's very important for you to build soft skills as well. It's very very important. I would like to highlight that again. It's very important for you guys to build soft skills, communication skills, and so on, because technical skills, although it is important, it doesn't really help you 100% in progressing in your career. Soft skills are very very important. Okay, so just enjoy your life and enjoy your student life, and just be active, grab every opportunities you can.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Azmieza, Azmay, on your insights. So now we're going to move on to the Q&A session. So to members of the floor, if you have any questions, you can unmute your microphones and ask directly to our special guest today, or you can post your question. You can post your questions in the chat box. Okay. Adam bin Yusuf. Okay, we have one from Adam.
Assalamualaikum and good night, Kak Azmieza. So my name is Adam. I just finished my first semester. So I have this question that I believe is question that we all semester one students have in mind, which is, when did you know what you want to do and how did you figure it out? Because this is an issue that even Mr. Aizat have confronted us when we got in this program, because a lot of us came from different background. So we didn't have a lot of exposure of this program. And even my juniors from, I was from Foundation in TESOL. So even my juniors are keep asking me, if I get into this program, where should I go? What should I do? So I want to know, how did you know what you want to do and how did you figure it out?
What you want to do in terms of, is it your future career? Is that what you mean?
Yep, I mean, because also we know that this program is quite wide. So people who graduate from this program go to a lot of different paths. So how did you decide which path you want to go? Did you know what you want to do when you were studying, or after your internship, after going into the working industry?
Okay, so I'll be honest. At first, you wouldn't know what you want to do. You wouldn't know where you're going actually. But initially, right, just to backtrack a bit, right, I actually didn't know what I want to do, and I tried to apply to roles such as translator, content writing, and all of that. Just trying to find roles that when you apply for a job, they will write down the job description, right? So I try to read it and I try to match it with my personality, because at that time we don't really have a lot of technical skills, right? So I try to look for jobs that includes me talking to others, and not really like data analytics kind of job, because that's not really my fault. That's not really my kind of personality. So what I would say is that you don't really get to figure it out until the end, unfortunately. But try at first for your internship, maybe try to apply for jobs. When you read the job description, try to put yourself in that situation. So you try, let's say if it says, let's say for my case, right, phone screening candidates for a role. So it sounds quite interesting, because when you phone screen someone, you get to know them more. You get to know their motivation, and you get to advise them on the role as well. So it's something that I want to do, interviewing others. So that was something that I want to do. But after that, once you start working, you kind of want to start to do something else as well, because you get more exposure, right? So that's how once you are doing your internship, and then let's say if you get to see other departments as well, how they work, and also what kind of roles they do, you start to learn from that. So I would say that, to answer your question, it's quite hard for you to figure it out, but throughout your internship, throughout your graduate early careers, you will definitely get to know what you are interested in and what you are not interested in. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Adam.
Thank you. That answered my question.
All right, thank you for the question.
All right. And Adam, I wish for you and your batch all the best. Okay. It takes time. So don't worry. It's a journey for you. All right. So yeah, all the best. Gambate kudasai. Okay. We have one question from Nabila Nurul Jannah. Is there a way to connect with you for more questions about the company you're in?
Yeah, sure. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Azmieza Azmi. Let me just write it in lah. All right. You can message me in LinkedIn, and then I'll answer your queries regarding Ensanyang, and also my role as well.
All right, thank you so much, Azmiza. Okay, any other questions though? I had one in my mind just now. Ya Allah. I had one. Okay. What? Okay, all right. Okay, maybe while waiting for other questions. Okay, since you mentioned that you've done recruitment before and then now you do campus engagement, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Okay, so just from you, what would, I mean, let's say like if you are recruiting for interns, right? What would you look for in an intern?
All right. So it depends on the role as well. Okay, so I'm just speaking generally lah. If it's LG243 students, right? I would recommend for you guys, since you guys have aside from linguistics, you guys also have business courses as well. I would recommend for you guys to try out HR, because HR, it requires someone that people, those who are very people driven and those who want to work with other people as well. So I would recommend HR for you. But I know some of you guys are more into the creative side, right? Marketing is also an option for you guys as well. Marketing, let's say, it can be internal or external marketing. Okay, so just to share with you guys, there's actually, I know some of you guys are still first years, but do bear with me. There's actually two. So you can either work internally or you work externally. Externally as in you work with clients. So working internally is you work for your company. But if you are working with clients, you will serve your clients. So same goes with marketing. There is internal marketing and also client-facing marketing as well. So I would say either one of those you guys can consider lah. But aside from that, content writing, and also I've seen my friends applying for translator roles before, and also they got a job as a translator lah. What do I look for interns is mostly, I would say, it starts with personality, cultural fit for the company. So depending on the role, there will be roles that we require someone more, or maybe there are certain companies or roles that require for you to be a bit more extroverted, more out there. But there are certain roles that require you to be more introverted, or something like that as well. So it depends on the company and depends on the role that you're applying for. Last time when I was doing recruitment in EY, I was hiring for tax and strategy and transaction as well. So it definitely begins with the background for those kind of technical roles. So usually we hire from accounting background. So we do understand for fresh graduates, you guys don't have any experience. We do understand that you guys don't have any experience, but we will be ready to guide you, to guide you in preparation of your entry level roles lah. So we will guide you, and then as long as you are interested to learn, it's fine. It's fine for you to ask a lot of questions and to make mistakes as well. So to answer your question, Mr. Zach, I would start off with personality first. And then also those soft skills, like communication skills, very, very important. You cannot present yourself well if you do not know how to communicate well. It's very, very important.
All right, okay. Thank you so much. Oh, we got a question from the chat box from Fateh Nur Ayu Liana. Hi and good evening. I'm Ayu from 5A. I have a question. Can you share any tips, do's and don'ts for those who are starting their internship soon, especially for our first day of reporting for duty? Ooh, I like this question. Okay, Azmieza?
Yes, good question actually. Do's and don'ts. Okay, for the don'ts. Okay, for the do's, right? Okay, try to study a bit about your company. Okay, before you enter a certain company, right, you would need to try to get a gist of their culture, how it's like. And on your first day, try to observe more lah. Let's say if that company they say we are flexible, you guys can wear maybe business casual, you can wear jeans and all of that. But if you go to your team and then you see everyone wearing formal every day, it's better for you to follow the flow lah, because it depends on the culture actually. So it's best for you guys to do a lot of observing, see how people's personalities are like. And since people are different, right, so different people requires different type of communication. So do a lot of observation, try to observe how they are like. And you try to be yourself as well as much as you can, but be respectful to others lah. That's very important. The don'ts would be, I would say, don't be afraid to ask questions, definitely, and try not to, how do I say this? Try not to do things your own way too much. I know sometimes we are afraid to ask questions, right? And then we're like, oh, maybe this one, okay, cool. I just do whatever I need to do, like whatever I feel right lah. Try not to do that. If you are not sure, ask your supervisor, because sometimes when you think that maybe for you it's like something small for you, right? Tapi sometimes for your team it's like a very big mistake. So try to avoid that. If you have any concerns or if you have any questions, just ask your supervisor. Don't be worried about that lah. But I know some supervisors, they don't like you asking questions one, but we see their styles first. That's why I tell you to observe first how their styles are like. But sometimes when the supervisor don't like you asking questions, it's not because they don't like you asking questions. It's more like they want you to research first. Try to find your own solution first, and then you go to them, then you ask their opinion, something like that lah. So you have to be a bit smart about this, how to go around your supervisor, because you can't change their personality, that's for sure. But then you try to be adaptable lah.
Yes, I mean, I do agree with that, because just to share, and maybe this can help Ayu as well. I once had a supervisee for latihan industry, and her workplace supervisor was just like that. Jenis yang tak and she said that she told our student that if you have a question, come to me with a potential solution.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Yeah.
They just want to teach you lah. It's not that they don't like you. They just wanna train you.
Betul. And I know that to some companies, most companies, in fact, they're not there to hold your hand.
Yes, true. Yeah. So yeah, try to be independent. But if you have any questions, do ask, because you don't want to make major mistakes. But if you do, it's life what to do, right? So yeah, don't take things too personally. If your supervisor marah you or anything, just be chill about it. It's nothing personal. Yeah, it's just work.
Betul. Kerja mana je tak kena marah kan? So yeah.
Yes, true. No matter how old you get, you will get scolded lah.
Oh, I know. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Ayu. Okay, all right, most welcome. Okay, Maybe we can have like maybe one more question from the crowd, maybe also from the lecturers, that I think I saw from the chat box, Mr. Izzat's here, or from Mr. Pavitran as well. Oh yeah, maybe we'll have one more question before we call it a day. Ya Allah, terbelit lidah aku. So yeah. But actually, I do like, while waiting, I do like how you talk about how, because so far, like, you're the only one that mentioned about the culture of the workplace. Because, when we talk about culture, I mean, yeah, of course, we have all the different cultures in Malaysia, Melayu, China, India,
Yes.
the Borneoan cultures and so on. But every company, not just sector, you can have the same sector like pendidikan. But the culture in UiTM can be different than the culture in I don't know UM.
Yeah, true. I feel like it's something that should be exposed to students as well. It's not easy to understand others and to adapt as well. But I think it's something that it's something possible for you to learn as well. I understand the feeling of being culture shock lah. Suddenly you're working and then the environment is so different than studying, but it's something that you get used to, and I think it's something that I guess me as an adult version of myself to share with the students. I think it's like my job as well to share with the students as well on what to expect in company cultures.
All right. Okay. Any questions from the floor? Once, twice. Rasa macam lecture lah. Okay. All right. You know what? I'll ask the last question.
Okay, Ken.
Okay, since we're talking about cultures over here, what would be, in your opinion, the similarity and the difference between university life and working life?
Similarities.
Similarities and difference.
Similarities and difference. Okay, so I would say that how sometimes when you are doing group assignments, right? It's the same as working in a team at your job, only that you're getting paid. So it's somewhat the same, but you're getting paid. Yeah, so I would say working and learning, it's your responsibilities. Only the difference is you're getting paid lah. It's your responsibility. Whatever happens, you have to take accountability. I would say that is the difference and also the similarity of working. In working, I guess it's more, you're not working with someone that is the same age as you, that has the same mentality as you and so on. You're working with different types of generations. I'm working with someone that's about to retire this year, so yeah, they have different perspective in working and all. I know some Gen Zs. I am a Gen Z myself. I know we just want to chill, we just want to work and then go home, right? But then for other generations, it's different for them. So yeah, you just have to, and also when you're working, right, you cannot ignore this kind of people because they are your team. You know how in group assignment, let's say if your group doesn't want to do work, right, you're like, okay lah, I just remove your name from my assignment. Working is different. You have to solve it somehow. So yeah, I would say the difference and the similarities would be responsibilities. You have to do your work. You have to complete your work. If you don't do your work, there will be consequences. Same with learning as well. If you don't do your assignments, you don't get your marks. With work as well, that it will lead to a lot of problems. So when it comes to responsibility, try to take accountability as well, and try to be responsible in general when it comes to working.
All right. Okay. First of all, gotta say thank you so much, Azmieza, for your insights. It's a very insightful session, to be honest. I love the stuff that you shared. Memang lain daripada yang lain lah. Compared to, I'm not being cliche here. Compared to the previous ones, the stuff that you covered over here. And with that, I gotta, I would like to wish and dua all the best for you, for your future in Ernst & Young and so on. May you achieve what you want in your career. And of course, thank you. And kalau since you're in campus engagement, if let's say you think that ada benda yang boleh collaborate with APB or with LG243, just contact Mr. Pavitran. He will help you. So yeah.
All right, Azmieza, thank you very much, Azmieza. I believe the students have gained a lot from this, guys. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I can't on my camera. I'm not in a very suitable, environment now. Thank you very much, Azmieza. I believe that you're a testament that it's even if you do language, you can be in a field where you know yang tak ada bukan tak ada kaitan lah, but if no direct connection with language. So you can, it also shows that LG243 graduates they can function basically everywhere they go.
Yes, definitely.
Then, so for the semester 1 students, 2, 3, 4, 5, sky is the limit, and the only limitation that you have is you putting that on yourself. Betul tak, Azmieza? I believe that ENY if you Google, it's a top organization, guys. So to get into that place and be relevant, I believe that you're doing a great job there, Azmieza. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zach. Anything else from any one of you? All right. Okay. Thank you then. Okay, Mr. Zach, it's back to you then. Thank you very much, Azmieza. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that basically concludes our session for today and the entire series. Inshallah, maybe we might continue this series for future semesters to come, and who knows, we might reach you back again, Azmieza. Mana tahu face to face kan, physical. So we
I
don't know.
would prefer face to face.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good. And also for the students, Mr. Aizat has spammed the chat box 3 times already on the Google form, so for your attendance and your certification. So yeah, so even though it's not, but still, hey, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend, and to the students, enjoy your semester break. See all of you next semester. So yeah, take care. Assalamualaikum. May God bless all of you.
Thank you all, and good luck. Bye bye.